Welcome to another edition of Tell It How It Is, No Filter. I'm your host, Voice of Reason. I'm glad you could join me once again. It's dope that you could be here. I really appreciate all my listeners, all my viewers. I can't stress it enough. I will always say it. Make sure you subscribe to the channel, Voice of Reason NF on YouTube. My social media is at Buzzer Beater, BUZZAHBEATER. Let's go right in. Things run its course. Don't do it for the kids or settle for lesser evil. Man, you try, right? You find something. I know this seems relationship based alone. It's strongly that, but it's also a lot of things. You know what I'm saying? Just in your life, you get comfy, you get comfortable. Things are going to where you can handle it. You can't necessarily say everything is great, peachy, but you get it to a place of, I can deal, I can handle. It's not that bad. I'm managing. It's okay. No, life should be better than this. You know what I'm saying? And that's not like an overnight dream. That's not something that's just going to pop for you. But what I'm saying is you got to know the difference and you got to start to value yourself and make decisions based on that value. So when things run its course, as good as it seems, as much as you think you're enjoying it, it does not mean that's it. You know what I'm saying? Now, you can have conversations, you can attempt things so it doesn't expire, and maybe you can make it elevate. It could grow. So it's not to just throw the towel in and say it's a clip. What I'm saying is, if you have already done that, if you already experienced, and sometimes you can tell, this is it. This is the best it's gonna get. There's no, leveling up from here. And that's where you should make the harsh decision and face harsh realities that it may be time to move on. And you see, I'm generalizing. I didn't put that in a relationship per se. I mean relationships, but it could be work relationships. It could be professional work relationships. It could be anything that you've been just settled in for so long that you don't realize is better for you. So now when I reference don't do it for the kids, obviously that's still straight at relationships. So when you have kids, you want to make it work for them, right? We came up hard. Did we have our parents? Maybe. For the ones who didn't, you know where I'm coming from even more. So that doesn't mean that both don't want better for their own children. Because no matter how good you might have had it raising growing up, you always want more for the kids. But for my adults out there parenting who did not have both parents, or it was a limited time on that, you want this for your kids even more, but you got to understand what's healthy, what's smart, and what's beneficial for the kid. Kids these days are sharp. They may not make the best decisions. We're in a different generation. We got to school them harder, tougher. But as far as what they see, what they absorb, they are sharp. So if you're thinking you're staying there for the kids' sake, the kids can read vibes. They can feel energy. They know that this is not healthy. They can't say nothing. It's just what the environment they're placed in. So now when they grow up, when they're grown, that will retain. What they do with that and how they balance their own life is a mystery. But they do have that in there. So if that's what they encounter when they grow up, there'll be no change. So don't do it for the kids. Don't do it because, well, at least I know this toxic or this uneasiness, it's no surprise. I know how they move. No. I'm going to tell you something. We are stronger than we think. We go through pain and that shit hit, man, and that shit hurt and that shit knock us down a couple notches for a while. But I'm going to end this topic with this. It's tough when you comfy. It's tough. I'm repeating that because I was so good, man. I thought I was so good. I thought I was so comfy. And a decision had to be made after a decision was made. So I didn't get to say so. I'm not going to sit here and act like King Dingaling. The shit was a blindside for sure. But I had to do and get up out. Like I couldn't even linger. You could linger mentally. Mentally, it lingered way longer than it should have. But physically, I got the fuck up out of there. No shade to nobody. But sometimes physical strength does overrule mental strength sometimes. Because once you physically react, and I don't mean violently or against the law or none of that, save that for that. Y'all do y'all with that. But that's what it takes. And then the emotion will follow. And it'll take its time. It's not going to be easy. I never said that. But you got to do what you got to do for you. This is a selfish ass world. Sorry to say. You can show love. You can be courteous. You can be kind and all of that. But you got to peep the temperature. You got to read the room. You got to be sharp. Being kind and courteous does not mean be naive, be blind. You still got to peep stuff and knowing it's not for your benefit. You hear me? Cool, I'm off that. Every man fell in love with a full-blown whore once in their life. Fellas, would you sit next to me and tell your truth? Probably not, right? You want to tuck that story. So, here's mine. No full details. Here comes the naive. Here comes the blind. Here comes timing of behavior that you normally don't witness. And that's not in every case. This is a special story because I'm sure the context here is just straight. The man knew what it was with her off the rip if it damn near wasn't displayed in verbal and text like, yo, look, this is a hoe right here. So some people have that story, and I'm sure the context just means that. But I'm getting a little more intricate with it. I had a disguised whore. Fellas, will you come up here and sit and tell that story? Because there's full-blown whores and there's disguised whores. There's still whores. But this was disguised nonetheless. So, no shade again. They come off as normal, regular. You saw the episode of the Boondocks, Guess Who's Coming to Dinner? But it's really Guess Who's Coming to Dinner? With Grandpa falling for Shorty? It wasn't like that. But you get how he's blindsided? Some shit like that. Watch the Boondocks. Guess Who's Coming to Dinner? Anyway, the attention, the mild aggression shown, the looks, the shape, the confidence in their sexuality, just the whole swag of things. More so than timing, more so wherever I'm at life in that time frame, had no business indulging. I can admit that. I can go before Judgment Day and say I had no business indulging. Yes, me. I said it. So these things piling up, and it proves how simple men are. Sorry to say. And that simple could hurt us. The simple says we're not a headache, really. We would like to say that. But the simple hurts us because look what I just described. Nothing really spectacular. But it was enough for me to indulge. And boy, when I indulged, it was almost the second best feeling of life. And boy, even as I sit here and tell this story, as old as this story is, whoa, how ground shaking that was. And the way they maneuvered after the first time. And the things they did to make sure we get a next time. And the whole gangster shit about no matter where the third time. And just making sure, I'm just going to keep a buck with you. Balls are empty. Like that's their job. And that's not how you look at life. When you get a real woman, your real queen is not going to make sure your balls is empty on a day or every other day, maybe not even weekly basis. That's not their job alone. But this sure damn felt good to know that somebody felt that way. For whatever time frame you could pull that off. So that alone can complete this story. But what I will add to it is that no matter how consistent that was and how aggressively behaved that young lady was to make sure I was satisfied. And boy, was she a beautiful motherfucker. You cannot tell, like, you know what I'm saying? There's things on the surface you can't judge. Maybe getting a little chunky, but not crazy. The moral of the story is, can't hide them horror stories forever. Now I used to hear a little chatter while I was hooked on phonics. Hearing a little chatter, no receipts. Then certain things just started to add up and figure out. And damn, what I know and what I learned in the aftermath saddens me. Because that whore, excuse my French, really made it her business to sell the story that it was only me. Crafty. She got away for a long time. This is not to throw shade. Whoever know me personally, I'm not throwing shade. It is what it is. I enjoyed every moment of it. So what shade do I have? It's sad though. I was naive though. How can a whore only love you? You feel me? So that's my story on that. We got a quick one today, folks. Last one. The less you force moves you make, the less chances of things going left. Fellas, especially us. How many moves, be honest, if it's not about money, how many moves, and it's all right, I'm not here to expose y'all. I agree. How many moves do we make or try to make or try to plan because women are going to be there? You could be full-blown married, happy, all that. That shit don't matter. You want to see some things, you want to see some things. Some people go just to see. Some people go just to take in the festivities. It's not always to do something malicious. I'm just saying the motivation of most men's moves is to see some skin, some catty. There's nothing wrong. We all know this. The world knows this. Women know this. But what I'm telling you is, when that's on the brain strongly, be selective. You ain't got to go to everything. And this is from my younger guys. You know what I'm saying? I know when you get up there, you just don't be having the energy. If you grind tough, like I grind tough, we don't have the energy to make it to everything anyway. And that's a tougher challenge because now, because we don't go to everything, whatever we do see, whatever we do try, we going to try to make a fucking outing of it because we don't really bust moves the same no more. But my younger cats was going to everything on Eventbrite. Peel it back some, man, because that's when shit goes left. When you too out, you hear shit popping off all the time. I'm not trying to tell you to limit your life and limit having fun. You get one life. You only live once. But you really got to calculate things and go, do I need to be everywhere? Do I? I don't think so. Think if you really take a sec and let your body talk to you, let your mind talk to you. Again, my hustlers, you may need to just rest. You may need to just rest. Let me give you a scenario, right? I had, let's say I had some days off or whatever. That should give you energy already. You know, when you're a worker and you work most of your life and you get a breather, no matter what, 3 days, 4 days, whatever the breather is, more than your normal 2 that you get off, right? You're supposed to build energy there. This is the time you take for yourself and do something outside of that. Man, it came upon me. I had all the free time. Initially, I set to bust a move. The closer to that time, I started being like 50-50. I don't really want to bust a move. I'm tired. I need some rest. You know what I'm saying? In the end, I didn't bust a move. Now, do I want to make your life sound that boring? Boo. Hush. Voice of reason. And hush. Where's the excitement at? If you off, you normally get 2 days off. You got 4 or 5 days off. How don't you bust a move? Yeah, I know. But sometimes it's something telling you, man, directly or indirectly, sit your ass down. There's nothing wrong with that. Sit your ass down. I'm not saying you're going to miss an opportunity and a fucking explosion happened and you would have died. I'm just saying things that go left can be on any level and it still could have been avoided. Anything left. Little things. On your way to wherever, you get a red light ticket or you ain't peep a speed camera one. Now there's noise cameras. You could get into golf a bit of fender bender. A nail could get in your tire. These things can happen anytime. But just imagine if it was on a time you ain't have to bust a move. Have your fun. Do your 1-2s. I even have a mentality you can follow every other one. So if something comes across your screen, invite, email, whatever, especially if you got an Eventbrite account or you on there, or any other apps or platforms that tell you about events and parties and lounges and whatever. Every other one it then. That interests you because it could be 5 events and 4 of them trash. Like you ain't even interested. So now you have 1 left out that 5. That doesn't mean go. Now, boom, the next set, let's say it's 3 and there's 1 you like. Go. That doesn't guarantee you won't run into things that go left, but I know you're limiting things by being out there. Outside is, I just don't, it's not the wave no more, especially where we live in these 5 boroughs, in this state, in this side of the hemisphere. You go away for vacation. You're not so calculated. You go away somewhere, island or something. Now you want to partake in that island's festivities. Even then, you might sleep in one day. Maybe. I don't know. But when you go away, you take a flight, you use a passport. Now, if you want to indulge heavily, you can. That is all of the atmosphere to do that in. But home, unless you live very well in a very nice place, and that still don't mean nothing because where you travel to go to events don't always be in the nicest places. Not always. You understand? So, like, judge that heavily, make your decisions heavily, and understand that you're not supposed to go to everything. All right? So, boom, because I'm so fast here and finish this so quick and swiftly, we're going to do a quick back run through. Things run its course. Don't do it for the kids or settle for lesser evil. Make a decision. You're going to stay or not. If you're staying till the end, till your possible can't take no more, sit down, formulate a plan, try to get things spicy again, try to get things brand new, try to get things to level up. Don't just settle and leave things where they are. Don't do it for the kids and don't do it for any other lazy reason. Try to get things better. Offer advice. Let's try counseling. Let's do something. And even if it's a work relationship, new ideas, new ways to make money. Let's not stay settled because it's comfortable. That's it. Every man fell in love with a full-blown whore once in their life. Get over it. Learn from it. It's a lesson. It happens. It probably felt great. And just peek the signs so you don't get got again. You could be a dater, like you're only dating a single guy, and you could run into these more and just know that you're not supposed to fall in love, though. And tread light. Tread light, please. All right. And the less you force moves to make, the less chance of things going left. Just be calculated in the things you like to do and know when to go out, when to fall back. That's it. Listen to your vibe, your mind, your body, all that. It talks to you. Don't ignore that. If it's not talking to you and it says go, go. But I'm telling you, there's something in you. You forced it. Any little sign. Let's say you hesitant on what to wear. Because sometimes when you're going out, you're like, all right, I'm putting this on. I know that. But if you got to go, damn, I don't know what to put on. That's a sign. It may not be a sign to not go, but that's telling you something. If there's a delay in the time frame of you getting there, that's a sign. There's just peep the vibes on it. You don't have to be at everything. But do enjoy your life and do have fun. So you know how I give it up. You know my 3 P's. Stay progressive, stay positive, and stay pushing. Peace.
You on the ropes, it can't be good like if 50 got you in the post. Was never close, was animated, never joke. I'm the fire, fuck the smoke. What you feel if you approach? Bread, chase a loaf, and you toast, then you blow. If you woke, then you know it was faith, not the hope. Hope can't take me light, nigga, like an anchor on a boat. And not you lateral is gratitude. I take you up, close the drummer, radical. I'm bad as you, I love it, it's compatible. No, I'm actually more than what you can adore. And I won't be forgotten, just peep how I vibe. That I make better music like Khalees before Nas. Thought pink was black for the pop. I was hot, got hits from the same year Fab and Luda got these shot. This is bigger than Brooklyn, got the East Coast crown. Don't need the Discovery Channel to peep how the ghost sound.